Hi, welcome back to Portugal Muse, to a very hot central Portugal. Today we'll show you some more home improvements. I'm going to start off by fitting this trellis for Owen's lovely jasmine, which has been growing mad this year. The current day today is Saturday. Josh has been staying for a week now. He loved his room, he's really happy with it. And on the video, you're going to see me bricking up the doorway. We had to use the blocks that we already had because, we couldn't afford to buy more materials when we've already got materials here. The walls aren't straight, but I managed to get it as best as I could. And I'm also tidying up the waste pipes from the shower and from the bathroom sink, which is from a week and a half ago now. I don't know where that pencil mark came from. Different. There. Way up it goes now.
See, that doesn't look straight. Are you able to put it across the top?
The top won't be straight because they're all different lengths, aren't they? Do you want to stand back and tell me how you can't?
I can see here.
Do you think they look straight?
No. It needs to go down a bit on the right. That's it.
Do you want it a bit higher at the bottom?
No, that's perfect. Just like that.
Like that, yeah?
Yeah. So what do we reckon the temperature is today? 36?
It said 38 in the car and that was ages ago.
So yeah, do you reckon we're approaching 40?
That'll be 40 by now, I reckon.
Yeah, feels like it. Scorchio. Scorchio isn't Portuguese, is it? It's Spanish.
It's not anything. It's a made-up word from the fast show.
So in Portuguese, it's está muito calor. It's very hot.
Muito calor.
Muito calor.
So I'm using these cut down wall plugs as spacers on a long screw to hold the trellis away from the wall to allow the plant to go around the back of it and wind itself around. And then I'll use cable ties to hold the trellis to the screws. Yeah, I don't think these screws are long enough, so I'm going to change them for some longer screws. Should only take a minute.
It's always something, isn't there?
Yeah.
Nothing is ever like straightforward.
Well, the problem was, because the brick is so soft.
Tijolos.
Yeah, with the 6mm drill bit in the drill, I ended up having to use 10mm plugs.
Da, 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 da.
Oh. Does that look straight? Because this one's not gone in straight. How about that?
I think it looks really good. It looks lovely. I love that sort of like cottagey feel about it. So, you know the jasmine, would you weave it in and out, or would you actually use like string or something?
I have no idea, I'll be honest.
I think I would just weave it in and out. But then it's actually grown in it then, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe I will use string. I've got string. That's another job for when the sun goes in, Dave.
What's
Not
that?
attaching the jasmine. I'm not doing that right now. Not in this heat.
Are you sure that looks straight?
It looks pretty good from here.
The problem with it is it's curved.
Well, it's natural, isn't it? It's like it's made from twigs.
Yeah.
They're not going to be straight. I think it looks lovely. I'm really happy with it. Also, you've got to keep in mind that jasmine's getting massive. It's going to cover it. So it'll go all the way up the wall. It'll look lovely. Muito obrigada.
De nada. I don't know. Problem with being a builder is you always look and see if he's got it spot on.
Ha!
Optical illusion.
You were like surprised then,
I was.
like pleasantly
Well,
relieved.
it looks like it's right on the oh, what's it? But
You can swear, I'll just bleep it out, Dave.
really doesn't look straight. But you put a level on it, and it is.
It looks
So that means that something else isn't straight that you're looking at it against.
what, the entire house.
The entire house.
Although
yeah.
we know that the house is
The
straight.
house is actually very straight.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. Although the walls do get thinner as they go up, I can't imagine. It's particularly unusual. There you go.
Amazing. Muito bon.
Dzień dobry.
Fantastico. Finished?
Yep, finished.
Happy?
Yep.
Cool.
So we're going back a week and a half to before Josh came, where we decided it'd be best to brick this wall up, this doorway up that doesn't have a door, seeing as there's a doorway right next to it with doors, so that if Josh wants to come in and out during the night for the toilet, then he'll have some privacy and the dogs won't bother him. We used the blocks that we already had. They're a bit big, but it's all right, it does the job. Both walls are going to be boarded anyway, so it doesn't, it's fine, it doesn't matter. So I'm using a mix of yellow sand and sharp sand for the mortar, about equal parts, a 4-to-1 mix. It's fairly strong, but it's quite weak sand. So the bricks are sitting on top of a stone lintel, so they're well supported. I cut the blocks with an angle grinder down the garden because it makes a lot of dust. Obviously all the cuts are the same, so that made it quite easy. Unfortunately the cut is just over a half, so ended up using more blocks. It was difficult to get it to look half decent because the two sides didn't really line up. Either, they start off wider at the bottom than they are at the top, and one side is significantly wider at the bottom than at the top, and they don't quite line up as well. So I was having to make a lot of adjustments to make it sort of fit. But like I said, as both sides are being plasterboarded at some point in the future, it'll be covered anyway, so doesn't really matter. It was difficult because it was so hot. The cement was going off literally as fast as I was using it. So I've damped down the bricks outside, the blocks outside before bringing them in. But by the time I'm actually using them, they're almost dry again.
There's a bit in a minute where you like finish off the grouting lines, if you want to call them that. I don't know
The
what-
mortar lines.
The
yeah.
mortar lines, and it looks like you're using some sort of tool, but I don't know if you are.
I'm using this a piece of hose pipe.
You're using a piece of hose pipe.
Yeah, it works as well as any other
Oh, okay.
pointing tool.
So it's a pointing tool. But
I haven't got. Well, normally you use a pointing iron, but I haven't got one here, and I've not seen any in any shops here. I need to send away and buy one, but
So it's a whole hose pipe or half a hose pipe, like we cut it,
no, it's just about 4 inches of hose pipe.
and you're using that to do it because it looks tidy.
Yeah, well, it makes a really neat job.
You're being very resourceful then.
once it got towards the top, then it started getting difficult because the wall is about maybe 4 or 5 centimetres thinner. The existing wall is about 4 or 5 centimetres thinner at the top than at the bottom, and on one side slightly more than that. So I've got it on the other side of the wall that you can't see here. I made it sort of flush with both sides, but it sticks out a little bit this side, which I can lose that during the plasterboarding. It looks a bit odd now, but there's not much I can do about it. And then getting these top cuts in is quite difficult, but it's not too bad. It actually went easier than I thought it would do. We decided to tidy up the pipe work for the waste pipe. Before, there was 2 pipes coming out onto and the water just come out onto the ground and just made it a bit muddy, and Josh come in and just wanted to tidy it up, make it a bit nicer, and run a pipe underground into the last chamber of the fosse. Eventually we'll save the grey water in an IBC tank and use it for watering the garden, but just for now this was the easiest solution. So I'm using 40mm grey PVC waste pipe, which is easily available from any builder's merchants. Just making the mark so I know where to fix the pipe clips to. The joins are all push fit with a rubber seal. You just use some plumber's Vaseline to make them slide on easy. To cut the pipe, I just use like a normal blunt wood saw. Works very well. Or sometimes I use a multi-tool. But if you use a very sharp wood saw, it tends to cause it to crack and splinter. So that's why you use a blunt one. Still goes through it very fast. Here I'm drilling a hole below our bathroom sink. I didn't have a big enough drill bit, so I had to, try and just wiggle the drill bit about a bit until it made the hole big enough. I ended up eating a lot of dustbin. So I cut this pipe off with a multi-tool and tried to push it through to the other side to get rid of the old one. So our shower outlet was just like a sink plug hole with a flexi hose on the other side, tiled into the floor of the bathroom. Because of sun damage, it had weakened the plastic, and the end of it cracked before I could join it into the grey pipe. So I ended up pushing the flexi pipe down inside the PVC grey waste pipe and then filling it with silicone all around it, which has worked perfectly fine. And here I'm just filling in around the holes. Filling the holes up with some sand and cement.
Thanks for joining us again this week. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.